The Buddha once said, "Thought manifests into word. Word becomes deed. Deed develops into habit, and habit hardens into character." So watch the thought and its ways with care, because what's inside spills out. Join me for Meditation Mondays. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Fly Studio. My name is MaKenzie, and I am so happy that you are here with me today. We are in the process of learning meditation, but more specifically, Metta meditation. This is actually a series, and this is video number 5. So if you have missed out on videos 1, 2, 3, and 4, please take the time to go back and check those out first. But I'd like to take a few moments to actually review what we've kind of learned so far. So in video 1, we learned the essence or basics of Metta, including the traditional phrases used and incorporated in each and every meditation. We also understood and looked at the difference between desire, which is conditional, and love, which is unconditional. In video 2, we continued by adding in what is called the benefactor. So once you start to have a bit more kindness for yourself, you're then asked to expand your capacity for someone that you love and respect. In video 3, we started looking deeply or a bit more closely at desire, which what yogis or Buddhists would call craving, and how craving is actually the near enemy to metta or loving kindness. Because craving can masquerade around and pretend to be love when really it is conditioned. It has an equation to it, whereas love is boundless and free and abundant. We also added in working with the neutral person, or someone in which you haven't formed an immediate like or dislike for. In video 4, last week, we had the difficult conversation of aversion, or what you might think of as anger or guilt or fear. We started to understand how anger is actually the far enemy of metta, and that even though there are some positive aspects to anger that help wake us up and see things clearly, that ultimately anger is like a forest fire that will burn and eat everything in its path, including yourself. So thank you for running through that recap with me, hopefully refreshing sort of the methodology and seeing how systematic it actually is. And without further ado, let's continue on our meditation practice and journey together. So start to create your space. That's the most important part. Set yourself up for success by eliminating as much distraction as possible, even if that means you have to pause the video. So ideally, a place where you are alone, a place that is as quiet as possible, which sometimes is out of your control. I have a loud road next to me. I have cats. Some of you might have kids. Some of you might not be able to find complete stillness and silence, and that's okay. Work with what you have. But do the best that you can to make the space as quiet as possible too. So once the space is quiet, then start to clear away some clutter or make yourself comfortable. So clutter, sort of scooching it aside. And comfortable, you might decide to sit on a bolster or put on some socks, grab a blanket if you're cold, and then move into your posture. So sitting up is better. Try not to lay down. It's too much of a temptation to go to sleep, especially for me. So once you're comfortable, together we will close our eyes. And good, the first few moments, you start to settle into stillness and silence. And hear the world around you. So these first few moments aren't necessarily for doing anything, but rather for feeling everything. So in a very real way, just the gesture of sitting down is a declaration. I will no longer run. I will no longer ignore, pretend, or avoid. That this allotted time is for me to feel so that maybe I might heal. That's it. So stillness and silence are very essential to the practice. Because when you are still, you're able to see what is and what is here with you now. On the contrary, when you're moving, you're able to imagine or fantasize about the past or even the future. So settle into your body and allow it to be an anchor for presence, for nowness. Good, so that's stillness. Now give yourself silence. You and I together, here and now. Sitting and breathing. In silence. That's it. Remember, these first few moments aren't necessarily for doing anything, rather for feeling everything. So relax. Feel yourself deeply listening, sensitively paying attention to how you feel, to how you breathe, to how you think. And in a way, getting to know who you are today. There's a Taoist story of a man who so disliked his own shadow and the sound of his own footsteps. So his method of getting rid of his shadow and the sound of his feet was to outrun them. Yet every time he looked back, he saw the shadow trailing just behind. And every time he put his foot down, there was yet another step to take. So he reasoned that his failure was due to the fact that he was not running fast enough. So he picked up his pace, ran faster and faster, longer and harder, until one day this man dropped dead. Never realizing that if he simply stepped into the shade, that there would be no shadow. That if he sat still, that there would be no footsteps. So as you close your external eyes, open your inner eye. Look at yourself from within. Are you wearing your busyness as a badge of honor when really you might be using busyness to run away, to avoid and pretend? So take a courageous seat in your emotions. Let yourself feel it all. Your feelings are for feeling, after all. And as you look at yourself, listen deeply to yourself, see if within the space of your heart, if there are barriers, if there are boundaries. Walls, cages. Whether you made them or society constructed for you, just see them. Become aware of them. Yes, you must have a revelation before you can have a revolution. And if you can feel it, then you can heal it. So your Metta meditation is growing, is getting stronger. We'll do an exercise of extending this love, this kindness, without exclusion, without differentiation. Yes, break open your loving heart. If you see in the shade and in the shadows that you're protecting yourself, holding people out, holding yourself in, let your exhale relax and soften you. Perhaps the biggest lie there is that we are separate, that we are alone. Metta reminds you that we are, in fact, intertwined. There has never been a moment where we were not connected. And that breaking open your heart to this truth brings in unboundless happiness. So our phrases for today are vague rather than specific, are large rather than small. This practice continually inviting us to get bigger, to expand our capacity to love. So you could listen to the phrases that I say or even repeat them to yourself within or aloud. To those near me and to those far from me, may you be happy. To those I know and to those I don't know, may you be happy. To females and to all males, may you be happy. To those being born young and wild, and to those approaching death, wise and old, may you be happy. To all who do not know truth, to the ignorant, and to those who seek truth, the enlightened, may you be happy. To me and you, may we be happy. Breathe in these phrases as you slowly exhale. Feel them take root in your heart, planting seeds of powerful intention. Whether or not you have any particular feeling in this moment is irrelevant. All you need to do is plant the seed. You'll feel the fruit or the feeling later. Hold this space a moment or two longer. Become aware of your body. Become aware of your breath. Become aware of your mind. And notice how this amazing tool of Metta is an antidote to fear. together, feeling more connected, more available and open to love. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. And start to feel subtle, gentle movements through the head and neck. And eventually blink your eyes open. Beautiful work today. Thank you for joining me. I hope that this practice is starting to create a change in your life. I think it's amazing, and I am always here for you as a resource. If you have questions, please comment below with something that resonated with you today, and we'll be back at it next week for Meditation Monday. From my heart to yours, I hope you fear less and love more today. I'll see you later.